I started getting into coaching. So he helped mentor me with a lot of my understanding of the game, and then actually assistant coached with two of my teams, the contenders teams that I coached. He was my assisting for a while. So
Okay.
yeah, he's a great dude. So I love your form here. How did you hear about Spilo? Content from back in Overwatch 1, not TikTok. Thanks for the clarification. That's crucial there. Okay, so I assume here then you've obviously, especially with, name dropping Temporal, knowing me back from Overwatch 1, you've been playing the game maybe off and on for a little while, I assume.
Yeah, that'd be since it came out. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. So why the coaching here? Just kind of trying to improve your game, level things up, because
so when the new patch came out, so I played a lot of support, and I like to play tank too, but I played a lot of support. When that new patch came out, I just can't with the breaking points with trying to take either DPS or hit the back line. Those new break points, it is not clicking. I would drop from, I think my peak was mid-masters. I'm in gold now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it won't click anymore. For example, I'm playing the game the one day and there's a Pharah coming up and I'm playing Ana. I'm like, okay, this Pharah's going to give me trouble because my team's not looking at her. So I'm going to try to take her out before she enters the fight. 4 consecutive shots and she still doesn't die. I'm like, okay, well, this is the problem I'm going to have. So I need to be doing something else because that's obviously not working.
Sure. Okay, so just finding out like what are the things that you need to be adjusting with along those lines. Okay, so and I'm seeing here that you're playing mostly support and tank. Is that correct?
Yeah, I haven't picked up tank too much this season. It's just all support because I want to get back to where I was before. I was steadily in diamond. And I'm comfortable with that. I don't have any illusions about my mechanics. They're awful. And sometimes my decision making is also awful, but I think I can peak out at around there. And if I can just get back there, I'll be fairly happy.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Sounds good to me. On console, and I guess the key thing for me is like, how do you split up your time from support and tank? Is it mostly support, mostly tank? Is it more 50-50? Does it depend on the meta? Does it depend on the day?
It depends on when I'm satisfied with where I get back my support to. If I want to change it up just to experience the game in a different way, I'll change up the tank.
Okay. What kind of affects the decision besides that? Just changing things up? Do you have any specific, like, does the meta change your decision making at all?
No.
Are you equal on rank on both roles as well, approximately?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. And then on support, Ana, Mercy, Moira, BAP, is it, again, equally skilled between those 4, or is there a favorite towards 1 or 2 heroes?
I enjoy playing Ana the most, and I've been playing her the most recently. I wish I was a little better at her, but I'm not bad. Mercy, I mean, I like playing Mercy for the game management aspect of it.
Yeah.
Moira, because sometimes you just have to run for your life every 5 seconds. So it's like, I'll switch to Moira just to stay alive. BAP is one I'm not that great with, but I'll switch if I got a tank that's just like hard feeding, just so I can keep them up a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
So, that dictates what I'm going to take. And then also, like, what dictates what I'm going to take will be like what our DPS are usually.
Yeah, of course. I guess for me, it's just like finding that hero pool of heroes that you enjoy, but that also have like enough spread and skill to where there's like, okay, like you said, if my DPS or tank go this, or the map is this, that I have this pick. And if they do this, then I have this pick. But not spreading yourself so thin that like you don't really improve enough at the hero because you're playing so many different things, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maps will depend on what I take too. Like I won't take on was it Ilios usually. I'll take BAP there, or I'll take Mercy on either Gibraltar or anything with verticality. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, sounds good. And then Zarya, Ryan, Orisa, Winston. Same kind of thing. Break me down each of those characters. Like, what's your logic behind picking each one and so on?
The other tank, primarily.
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoy playing Zarya the most because I've kind of gotten used, or at least my bubble usage isn't bad. I get high charge, and I'm usually able to keep it pretty high. Because I kind of learned, because once you get so high, like I just enable my DPS with my bubbles rather than you save it for myself, or I'll use them all as life saving, and then I'll just because anymore you get higher, they're not going to shoot you when you got your bubble up. So it's useless unless you want to egress on someone. It doesn't make much sense, and it's gotten me pretty far. Orisa, just if I want to make everyone else have no fun on the game, so I'll just take Orisa and just be like kind of like the anchor. And that I just play Orisa not to lose. You know what I mean?
Right. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Winston, any mass with verticality.
Yeah.
Like what's the one called with the Eefii's home? I can't remember the name. See, I'm old.
Numbani. Yeah. So, but you remember the name Eefii, and so I would not have remembered Eefii. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. Makes total sense here. Okay. And then in terms of playtime here, a couple times a week for a few hours at night. Okay. So pretty casually whenever you get the opportunity to. All right. Here's my recommendation here. And this is gonna be tough, but I think it has to be said. I think the way that you're playing Overwatch right now is fine, but I think if you're trying to get back to that diamond or whatever master's rank, I think like one of the first things I always want to look at before we even talk about gameplay, which is why we have the forum, is like what are the habits, things that you can clean up, things that you could be doing better on your end. And I honestly think that like in terms of your hero pool, that's probably going to be one of the first low-hanging fruit. Here's why. Because you're spreading yourself pretty thin on a Mercy, Moira, BAP, Zarya, Rein, Orisa, Winston, and you're only kind of playing here and there, you're going to struggle. Like we'll go into review today and I'll give you some feedback and some stuff to work on, but you're going to struggle to get the repetitions necessary to actually make progress at the stuff that I give you. That's the problem. So my concern is that I'm going to give you some feedback and you're going to understand it, and you're going to love it, and everyone's going to be really excited. And then you're going to go, oh, I'm not really making progress. I'm not really ranking up. What's going on? And that's going to be the first problem I foresee initially.
Got it.
So that doesn't mean that you can only one trick a character. You have to play Ana and only Ana or whatever. But I would put some serious thought into how you're splitting your time up right now, and try to and lean. My first variable to consider is what heroes do you enjoy the most. So let's start with that support right now. Ana, Mercy, Moira, BAP. If you could pick 3 out of this 4, what would you do? You could remove one. Remove one.
I'll remove BAP, unfortunately.
Remove BAP. Okay.
Good at it.
And frankly, on a Mercy Moira, there is not going to be a situation in which one of those characters is not going to be decent. Will it be perfectly 100% optimal? No. But you know what is also not perfectly 100% optimal? Playing 4 support heroes. So I think going on a Mercy Moira, totally fine. Now let me push you a little bit further. If I could cut that down to 2 heroes, what would you do?
Ana and Mercy.
Ana and Mercy.
No, with now, I'd say Ana Moira.
Ana Moira. And again, a situation where one of those characters will probably feel pretty good 99.9% of the time. Ana Moira is a fine support pool. If you want to play Mercy here and there, I'm not going to stop you, but Ana Moira, that's a good start. Let me be taking notes here, by the way. Hero pool large for the amount of time we're playing. Consider cutting down to 2 or 3 per roll. Ana Moira. Now let's talk about tank. Zarya, Rein, Orisa, Winston. If you had to cull one, what would it be?
Rein.
Okay. So Zarya, Orisa, Winston. And then if you had to call one more.
Orisa,
Zarya, Winston. And let me tell you, Zarya, Winston is a really, really good tank pool. You've got the flat brawl tank. You've got the verticality tank. The stuff that they're going to go that's going to try to counter your Winston, Zarya's going to feel okay versus that, and vice versa. It's just a recommendation, just something to consider. You don't have to use that as gospel, but I definitely think that would be like my quote unquote low hanging fruit for your improvement. Okay. Does that make sense?
Does make sense.
Okay. Sounds good. I think that the tricky thing is that like for somebody, especially I notice myself I fall into this trap when I'm playing, even just casually, is that like, especially as a coach, and I've been playing like you since launch, and I'm like, oh, I should know all these characters, But the thing is, it's like you might understand them and you understand what their abilities do, but being able to make those snap-second mechanical decisions in the moment is like that takes frequent repetition in the moment right? So you could be like, oh, I've been playing, Reinhardt since 2017, right? But have you been really playing? Do you really understand it? Do you have all the mechanics for Fire Strike down and Pen? Do you know how to like move from corner to corner? Where are the best positions to hold with Reinhardt in every map? And like, how do you beat a Genji in a 1v1? How do you play versus Orisa? And if you don't know the answer to that, then you might as well not be picking Reinhardt.
Okay.
That's kind of my take. And especially if you got other tanks that you like better, lean into that. So okay. Now when you say a couple times a week, how is that? Is that just casually like 2 or 3 times? Few hours per night?
I have a friend of mine plays too. I usually queue with, and we'll get on after we're each done with work at night, usually around either 9 or 10 o'clock, and play for a couple hours then.
Yeah. Okay. Seems good. I think maybe the one quality of life thing I'm always asking people is like, do you take breaks when you're playing? And so if you are like, when I mean by that, I mean like, are you taking time between queues or during queues? Just get up and move around.
No,
that's just right. Something to consider. Just getting up and moving around for legitimately 1 minute is like super, super high value. Just to keep your focus high, remind yourself of what you're working on. Helps to prevent the tilt on bad games. Helps you to keep you from, getting too bloated up after a really good game, thinking about how awesome you were last game. You got to focus in, not to be corny here, but you got to stay in the moment. And I think just getting up and moving around from your console is helpful. Okay. We talked about goals here. What do you feel is holding back from improving decision-making, cooldown management, and mechanics? So let's talk about that. So decision-making, what comes to mind when you feel like you're struggling with decision-making?
Yeah, cooldown usage, like getting the most impact for what I'm doing. Like, for example, on Ana, making sure that the grenade I'm using, like I can optimize as being mostly offensive. And if I get also my tank with the heal, it's nice. I mean, with the new changes, I found I've had to use a little bit more on my own tank just to keep them alive anymore. But I really want to keep that. Like, I found that like it's more difficult anymore to be more offensive.
And it, right? Okay. So what we'll need to do is like find out what's going on that's making you being more offensive harder to do, essentially. Okay, sounds good. Decision making with your offensiveness, is that what we're going to be looking at today? Is Ana, or are we looking at something else?
These are. I have 2 codes. One from actually last night that I played with my partner online. He was playing tank, and then I got up this morning because I was like, well, I better get a different sample size, and unfortunately I won all my games this morning.
I mean, that's fine. If it's close, it's close. That's all we really care about, right? So we can work, like, as long as it's a relatively competitive game. That's all I really care about. It doesn't have to be a loss. Okay.
I have the loss though. I have the loss from last night. I have that code.
Okay, that's good. Okay, sounds good. Decision making, cooldown management. I guess that kind of ties into the decision making side of things then.
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. And then continually here, mechanics. All right, talk to me about mechanics.
So I still, I mean, you're as you know, the console has an aim assist, and sometimes it feels like it pulls me in a direction I don't want to go. And I've tried playing with the window sizes. I've tried playing with the aim smoothing and all the rest of it, and for some reason, I can't quite get it. I mean, not to say my aim's like awful, but it's not. Like, for example, if I'll be able to recognize a time where I can pressure at an off angle when there's a push up front. Everyone's relatively full health. I got my partner working on that. So I go either to high ground or I'll try to push around, and then I'll catch someone unaware, but my aim will betray me, and it's just making me useless almost.
Yeah, makes sense. Sadly, I don't have the knowledge of what can be done to improve console aim. I would at best would recommend, hey, here's a YouTube video that may or may not work for you. But the obvious answer, when in doubt, is just practice. One thing that might help for you is, do you warm up right now?
Used to, not now, because it's almost like there's no time.
Right.
Honestly, when I play competitive, yes, I want to get back up in rank, but it's not the be all end all. So
yeah.
I treat it kind of like I'm also warming up and I'm playing. I know it might be unfair to other players, but It's a game.
Maybe. Well, here's what I would recommend for warm up. I would ask yourself, like, what is the low hanging fruit for me with warm up? Like, why do I don't want to warm up? Probably think about like the time commitment, right? I only have so much time. This is where I would be like, okay, have you heard of the Vaxta code? The workshop code?
No, I don't know that.
Let me stream something. Also, this is a good time to make sure that the Discord stream is working on your end. Can you see that?
Yep.
Great. Okay. So one thing that I recommend is either motivating yourself more to warm up or making it easier to warm up. And so I think this is a great way to make it easy to warm up. So let's say you're warming up with Zarya. All right. So just lock Zarya here. You're going to go start. I'll turn the sound down a little bit. It's a little loud here. And all you're going to do is you could even set the movement to let's start with very easy there. You're going to press your interact key looking up here. And then you're going to find a target. And then you're just going to track, finish with a right click. All right, next target. Track. She TPs away, stay on her, track, finish with the right click. Or if you're me, miss the right click. Track. Try to finish with the right. And this is it. And all you do is you do this for 5 minutes. That's it. 5 minutes. And then as you get more comfortable, you can move the movement up to easy or normal or even hard. And you're going to see some crazy strafing going on here, right? Like they're going to be doing all sorts of stuff here,
Yeah.
So this is great. And what you do is you set a timer. I think, is there a timer in game? Yeah, see, look at that. See the top left of my screen, the orange number? The timer is ticking off. Go for 5 minutes or even 3 minutes, and then you're good. And then you're done.
Okay.
So what that does is it's because you're just constantly mechanics. You're going to be warmed up. You're going to be able to practice your mechanics. And because it's only for 3 or 5 minutes, it doesn't feel like this big, long, boring waste of time. It's just 5 minutes. That's it. That's all you need.
Got it.
Give it a shot. So let me actually type that as well. Warm up with Vaxta workshop code for 3 to 5 minutes. Okay. Any questions so far?
Nope. I'm with
okay. Almost done here. Last thing would be your sleep, which is, I know, I'm sure you're busy, but 6 hours is tough. That would be the first thing I would say when it comes to beyond your hero pool. The next low-hanging fruit for me is if you're able to improve your sleep to even something like 6.5 hours, just for the longevity of your ability to focus and perform. I think it's really, really important to address sleep. I think sleep is really underrated when it comes to your ability to focus, mostly regulate, and even reaction speed, right? Sleep helps a lot with that. So just keep that in mind. And if that's something that you can improve on even a little bit, I would recommend it. Okay. Any questions before we jump into gameplay here? Because I think we're all set. All right. Shoot me a replay code if you'd like, whatever one you'd like to look at.
All right. So this is the loss. I'll put the loss in first. I'll just type it in here.
Sure. Works for me.
And then I'll type in the other one too while you're looking at that.
Got it. I'm going to pull it up.
Ready for battle.
So Ana on Blizzard World, and then the other one is what?
One of the new maps.
Let's see. Let's pull this one up too. Ravasa, and then it's
just played that one just less than 3-4 hours ago.
Yeah. Okay. This is relatively competitive. Let's start with. Do you want to start with this one actually instead? And then what we'll do is we'll probably have time to look at the other one a little bit as well, so that way we can be a little bit. And this one is also a little bit more recent as well, so maybe we'll have you'll be able to remember some of your decisions and so on. Okay, so let's talk about Ana just a wee bit here. What are you trying to accomplish with Ana? What are some things that you've been practicing with Ana?
Hitting purples in the back line to alleviate pressure and trying to take shots in the back line.
Right. We talked a little bit about that. Okay, so just putting up pressure and so on. Okay, sounds good. Let's take a look. Any questions with Ana, by the way?
No.
Okay.
You'll see this backfire in about 10 seconds.
I'm ready. It's all about that offensive pressure while preserving your own life. Nade is, like you said, the big one, really. And the tough thing with Nade, too, is if you don't land the nade soon enough when the fight starts, you will put your team in a hole, is the way I like to put it, to where you'll feel the need to actually use your nade defensively, because your team will start taking a lot of damage because you didn't nade the enemy team in time. It's kind of the way to look at it. Like if you don't get a good nade when you get an opportunity, you will then often have to nade defensively.
Okay, that actually makes sense. I could use that.
Like this nade right here is really important. Like how do you think these guys are going to react to this nade?
They're gonna have to pull back.
They're going to have to pull back. They're going to stop doing damage. And so how do you think your Hog's going to feel about that? Right? You got to see what I'm saying? Like he's going to love that. Like he's going to really appreciate that the sniper characters are not all beating him over the head, essentially. And so, see, I would go as far to say that from this position here, you could even go look for a sleep dart here on this Orisa. Maybe look for a sleep dart on these snipers right here. Because what's sleep dart for? What's the purpose of sleep dart?
To alleviate
kind of a broad question. Right, alleviate the pressure. Now, when would you save sleep dart? Because sometimes it's good to save.
If there's any chance that there's either a flanker or something's going to come after me.
Right, exactly. And you could look at it right now. It's like, really, there's not really, it's not going to happen. So you need to do exactly the same kind of thing here. Alleviate pressure, put out the sleep dart right now as well.
But I saw my Hog go low, so I thought about going back.
Right, but you've committed. You got to stay.
Yeah.
You got to commit. And also trust your Life Weaver and trust your Roadhogs also self-heal, right? And the other question is why is your Hog low? Let's look at this. Who's shooting your Hog right now? Orisa? But more than that, the Ashe and Sojourn. You see that? So like right here, when you hit that nade, you actually buy your Hog a lot of space. But then when you kind of second guess yourself, that's what keeps your Hog low. Right? You need to not second guess yourself. Nice. Really nice. Now stay here. Don't right? Right? Because look at what's happening to the Orisa's HP. Do you see this? This is all your fault. Everyone's looking this way at you, and you're winning the fight over here. Now, I'm not saying always flank on it is always a play, but you got a nice sight line here. You got a nice nade angle. Roll with it. Trust yourself here. Because now, look how much space that you've lost. You just chucked your nade into the Orisa spin. You're not putting any pressure on backline. You don't have an off angle at all. You've missed it. And now I'm actually quite sure that you're going to lose this fight. You see how much space you've lost here?
Yeah.
You know? So, you had an off angle to avoid the Orisa to get onto backline. You were using your cooldowns really well. You second guessed yourself, wasted time by rotating, and then contributed nothing.
Whiff.
Yeah, I mean it happens. If you whiff it, that's just a mechanical issue. If all your problems are mechanical issues, we don't care. Because you're at least making the right decision. We're more concerned about when you're making the wrong decision. Good? Stay here. Let's do it. Or this. This works too. Get her.
I missed them.
That's fine.
I got her, but...
Yeah, that's good. Yes, good. Let's go. Pop that sleep dart. Sure. Now get back there. Find that angle. As long as you have distance and cover as Ana, you should be okay. Distance and cover. Use that nade. Get it. I think what happens sometimes is that your first priority is sometimes to shoot first. But in situations like this, there's just such a free nade value right now. Just nade. Right now. Use that nade as soon as you see an opportunity. When we start, not even necessarily like using it before the fight starts necessarily, but like once we start to seriously shoot at each other, it's time to go. What pressure are you putting on right now? Right?
None.
And really.
The reason I'm here is I wanted to make my way up to the left.
Yes.
But I was worried about the Torbjorn, so...
Right. Now, I will point out, you had time right here. Everyone was healthy enough, right? You needed to go now. I think that this was a really... I like the fact that you thought of this position. This is really heads-up play from you. It's kind of funny. You do take these off angles here, which are pretty impressive. But sometimes you second-guess yourself or don't rotate quickly enough. And then the other thing, too, is, okay, like, let's say you didn't have time to rotate. Can you still land a big anti-nade from this position?
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
I think I tried to. I think I actually had one here.
Of course. So then the question is why is it not already landed?
Yeah.
You could have literally a second anti-nade by now, because you could have opened it one here, and then now it would have had a second one. Something to keep in mind here. it's a huge spike in value for you. And so there's a lot of healing, wasted time. The point's about to be unlocked, and we still haven't landed in a nade. Good, Nano. Still looking for that nade.
Yeah, the spin was up. It's like
right. But you could still wrap around it, right? But
Yeah,
she's over
you're
here.
right.
Your targets are here. You got the splash. Use it. Even there, right? Like I see Bob. I'm chucking nade here. I'm chucking nade here. Then I'm sleeping Bob. The Nano's good, by the way. He's definitely engaged. Good sleep dart. Use that nade. I mean, I would say better late than never, but that's not true. Okay, actually, that is true. That is true, but that's not good enough. You know, like that's a monstrous nade. But this could have been your third or fourth nade.
Yeah,
at this point, you know. So I'm bullying you a little bit, but only because you're a Masters player in a gold or plat player's body right now. You know, you have this knowledge here. You're even taking these off angles. It's just these opportunities are being missed. Now, I guess here's an honest question for you. What is because we shouldn't be doing this, whatever. What is not preventing you but discouraging you from getting these anti-nades earlier in this fight? Is it lack of understanding? Do you just need somebody in the ear slapping you upside the head? Is it you're getting distracted by something else?
unsure I'm going to hit it or anyone's able to follow up on it.
So let's go to the moment in this past fight here. So you were saying maybe here you're does that apply here?
If anyone's going to be able to follow up on it, if I throw it now, one, hitting it, and two, because they can just retreat behind the
right. So the question is what is follow up? I know we're going to get a little philosophical, but bear with me. What is follow up?
Anything that would make a play.
Right, secure the kill, right?
Elimination, yeah.
Right. Okay, so look at your composition. Who's going to follow up on a nade ever?
Maybe Ashe.
Maybe Ashe. You see what I'm saying? Like, you're not running Tracer or Winston or Sombra or Genji or Ball. How does your composition work?
Distance and I guess the hog going in the great room.
You got it, right? Poking. So when you say, what is the purpose of your nade is to secure kills? No, it's not. Remember what your nade did? Remember how your nade almost won first fight over here? What did it do to the Ashe Sojourn?
Alleviated the pressure.
It made their shooty heroes go, oh no, I can't shooty anymore, right? So let me ask you right now, is the fight starting?
Yes.
Yes, it is, right? You're not wasting a nade before the fight starts. That fight started now. So if you nade here, and let's just say the same freaking thing happens again, Ashe Sojourn have to hide. What does that mean for your team, your Ashe, your Lifeweaver, your Roadhog, and you?
They can take a more aggressive angle and our hog can walk in.
You got it. Like, why could your hog not walk through here? It's nade. It's a lack of nade from you is why he couldn't walk in. So the reason that you're thinking about follow-up here is you're thinking about like in securing a kill. And that's optimal, obviously. But you still have opportunities to get pressure off of nade. Your job with nade is not to have follow-up. Your job with nade is to be, can my team's pressure off of that? And the answer is yes, we absolutely could. You see that?
Yeah.
Your nade could be a zoning tool. Just as long as your team is poking and fighting, it's a good time for a nade. Like even here, even if you were like really lazy, just naded the Orisa, then the Orisa would probably back up to here. Well, again, that takes pressure off of your hawk. That's it. Good enough for me. Does that make sense?
It does.
Now, if it becomes I don't know if I'm going to land it question, that's when I would say respectfully, get over yourself, right? Like you need, how else are you going to practice landing these nades if you don't go for them, right? You need to trust your mechanics, right? Okay. Your mechanics might not be good enough right now because you're a little bit out of practice, but they will be. You've had some good shots already. You've had some good sleeps already. Do more of that, So, okay. Does that all make sense to you?
It does.
Okay, sounds good. I want to make sure we're addressing the root issue here. Now, I might be cautious to throw nade now. Maybe I'd throw nade for some ult charge, but obviously is the fight starting right now? Look at our blackboard here, right? Not really, right? So you could throw nade for ult charge here, but you know that there's not going to be any real follow-up there. Thank you, I think.
I didn't want to go there. He did it to me a few times.
Oh, dear. Okay. Is the fight starting now?
It is now.
Close enough, right? Like you got a Bastion on an angle. Your Zarya is trying to walk forward. Let's use it. There it is. If you miss this, I'm gonna be upset, like sad, but I'm still gonna be happy that you went for it. So let's see.
Did I hit it?
Oh my days, did you hit it? That's a 5-man right there. That is a very rare thing in Overwatch 2. In fact, I cannot think of the last time I've seen a 5-man nade. It has been months since I've seen a 5-man nade. So congratulations, you win the gold star of the day. Nice job. That is absolutely. Let's actually watch the team's response to this.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Do you see? Do you
There it
see
is.
this? You just carried this team fight. This is huge. Your team's gonna walk in for absolutely free. Oh my! And then the Bob comes in. Oh, this is huge. And then you take the time to rotate. Oh, this is so good. And they're still recovering from that nade. The Ashe is still 1 HP. I mean, that is literally play of the game right there. You won't get it because, you know, the way the algorithm works, but that is that's probably the most important play of this entire game, easily. Nice job. That was beautiful. I like this too. Honestly, you could even nade here. Like, again, it's like one of those things where it's like you'll get your nade back in time for sure, right? So you might as well go for it. Yeah. Nice. No! Leave me alone!
Oh.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going here. All right, we're gonna rotate. I like it. I like it. If you hustle, you can get here in time, and you do. All right, let's go. Fight starting. Good nano. These nanos are really good. I really like. You seem to nano whenever anybody is like aggressing or getting aggressed on. Right. That's really good.
I have a problem sometimes where I think someone's going to aggress, or I'd like them to get aggressive, and then they don't.
Yeah. That's
That happens
fine.
to me a lot.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. All I would do is I would say, don't do it if you'd like them to aggress, unless you're sure that they can. And then if you look at a situation like the nano made sense here, it just didn't work. Don't beat yourself up over it. Like, not even for the pros in ranked, sometimes the nanos just don't work out because it's like, oh, they should have, or they thought they would. It happens. It's a little bit of a gamble. This is, by the way, another situation where I think you're prioritizing your shots first, but the first thing I want to do here is nade. First thing.
Okay.
First thing. Unless I want to try and like get maybe one shot in and then animation cancel that into a nade. Just shoot nade, right? Something like that. But like if you get that nade there, that's going to be big money right there. Yeah, nice job. Again, fight winning nano, fight winning shots into the Reinhardt as well. Good stuff. Okay. Again, we'll just throw a nade here. Why not? There's no reason not to. It can be also good practice for those longer range nades too, right? Where you're like, we're worried about your mechanics. You might as well try. Nice. Probably didn't need that nade with where she was positioned. Nice sleep dart. Yeah. Positioning is really good. I'm actually glad that we looked at the win first, because I think it's been a nice contrast of like you playing really poorly because you just are not nading or second guessing yourself on positions, and then immediately you stop second guessing yourself, start actually proactively using that nade, taking good off angles, doing damage, and all of a sudden your team is just rolling. You know?
Gotcha.
It was good. Any questions so far?
No questions.
All right, let's keep going. Same thing here. If I see that, I throw a nade immediately instead of trying to take a shot.
So throw early.
Yeah, the reason why is it's not just because it's guaranteed damage. It's more damage than a shot, and crucially, it might prevent her from getting out alive. So like if you shoot a shot at an Ashe, her team could heal that. If you shoot a nade at an Ashe, her team can't heal that anymore. So she probably just dies. Just something to kind of keep in mind.
Okay.
Nice. Wow. I thought you said mechanics are a weak point.
They come and go.
Yeah, that's how it happens with everybody. All right, let's see here. Okay, I like this position. A little bit of an off angle here. You can smell the nano coming. Good sleep. It was intended for Reaper, Malga.
Yeah.
I will say this is another situation where like I immediately, like, I think you're kind of distracted thinking about nano here, but this nade needed to hit right now. on either this guy or these guys peeking this corner here. But so that's a little bit unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, this fight's fine. You've been basically like looking for an opportunity to nade and haven't, or nano, excuse me. That nano's okay. I don't know if it was necessary, but I could see the Reaper maybe killing that Bastion, so just in case, sure.
Yeah, I panicked a little bit.
That's all right. Yeah, this fight's pretty clean here. Yeah, this is why I want to do this one first. Good contrast, but also we can zoom through any easy fights and focus on the next VOD. I mean, look at that. I would hate to run into Reaper in a dark alley as an Ana, but even a Reaper has to be careful of you when you got double cooldowns. You know, he's scared. He knows that you still have that sleep dart, right? So. So this is where I actually think you're being too defensively minded, right? Maybe land a shot on your Zarya here, but this guy needs to be slept, or this guy needs to be slept, and these guys need to be shot. So what ends up happening is you kind of look backwards, your Ashe is full, but you heal her anyway. You look back here and you're like, oh no, I can try. And you see like how your pressure just completely tanked for like 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Right? And so would you have hit the sleep dart on the Cole? I have no idea. But there was a chance, right? Like you could have at least, I don't think you guys win this fight, but you definitely could have gotten a kill. And yeah, all right. Again, priority is nade here. Fight starting. As soon as you see those bubbles, oh wow, nice sleep dart. Use it right now. Let's go. Combo. You thought about it. You thought about it.
I didn't know he was going to throw him off it.
Yeah. But see, here's a hot take. You ready for this? Even if he doesn't pull him off, I still prefer nade on these guys here instead.
Back. Yeah.
Right? Why?
Because you alleviate that pressure immediately.
That's it, exactly. Because it still feels like you're thinking about follow-up a little bit, right? We're like, oh, well, I won't be able to follow up on these targets. Nobody cares. You get them out so that you guys can burn the Zarya by herself, right? There's one nade on the Zarya that could probably just bubble herself because she's going to have bubble out, I guess, in about 2 seconds. Yep, see, there you go. It doesn't matter. But a nade on 2 people that are poking, even if you don't get the follow-up, hide them, and like you said, alleviate that pressure, right? So... All right, I need some offensive pressure from you here. Up your Ashe, help your Hog walk through that choke. This gets to where you could even start considering taking an off angle, right? Taking a flank here, landing a nade here, holding onto your sleep dart just in case they push you. Because the problem with your position here is what?
I'm at the same angle as everyone else.
Right, and well, it's crucially, sometimes that's okay if you can see something. Like let me deposit you. Your auto can now wall climb, right? You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This is okay, right? Because you have a nice, juicy vision of the battlefield. You don't have a nice, juicy vision of the battlefield, so you can't really do anything other than heal bot, which with the DPS passive, not all that useful. So you're looking for it. You're looking for CD value, but your positioning is rough. So this is when I think it's okay for you to take a little bit of a risk. Good nade. You could use Nano here if you just want to secure it. Won't be the end of the world. Maybe not be necessary, though. Good patience with the sleep dart. Use something now. Good. Use it. Good. Yeah, nice job. Again, the Nano was good. Okay. Okay, again, I like the position here. A little bit of an off angle from your tank. Pushing forward with your tank there. Good nade. Use that sleep dart here as well, because again, like looking at this distance, nobody's going to be diving you, so you might as well just fish for it. See what you can hit, right?
Okay.
Rotating with your Bastion. Yep. I don't think they touched. Okay, let's look at the other code. It was a Blizzard World, I think, right? Yep. Okay.
Yeah, this is. I was duoed with a friend of mine. He's playing Zarya, I think, or whatever the tank starts at. I can't recall.
Yeah. Okay, so what are you seeing? What have you seen so far from the previous review? Previous map, I guess.
Trying to pressure the back line. Not doing that enough. Not being aggressive enough on those angles.
Well, let's be specific here, right? What's the? I think of a good way to put this. When you were struggling with nade, what was the issue with nade? What was the issue?
Oh, decision making on when.
Okay, why? What was constantly hampering you?
Either saving it or following up, or concern
Right.
about the ability to follow it up.
Right. So let's pick it up. We want to keep an eye on concern. Too concerned about direct follow up on nade instead of being happy with relieved pressure. Right, this is the term that you use.
Yeah.
As long as the fight has started, use it. Don't second guess yourself on good sightline angles with range cover. Be more comfortable looking for those when you can't see anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all I'd say for right now. Everything else, I think we just need to toy with a little bit more. What do you think?
Sounds good.
All right, let's keep going. So defense here, obviously, we'll start with some nice sightlines, which is nice. Same thing here. Alleviate pressure. You should not be rotating this way. You should be standing right here and, getting your Kenny Griffith, arm ready and just yeeting this nade all the way over here, right? Let that Orisa walk through the choke and then nade her entire backline so she's completely by herself, right?
Yeah.
So you're rotating away, defensively nading, and you're defensively... Right, you probably shouldn't have naded at all, but also part of the reason why you felt the need to defensively nade is because this backline is under no pressure. Why is this backline under no pressure? Well,
Mm-hmm.
I would even be very, very strongly considering using my sleep dart here as well. Because again, there's no dive threat. This fight started. Just throw it down, close your eyes, just aim it. Right? It's gonna hit somebody, right? Like somebody's gonna be hit. Now, okay, so here's a question. Why did you rotate from here to here? Was it the Ashe?
I was concerned about having a decent angle on the Torb if he went to back up.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted that pillar between me and the fight just in case I needed a little bit of cover. Because I don't know when Orion's going to press up.
I see what you're saying. You do have this cover here. This is kind of like where I liked you initial positioning. Mm-hmm. Maybe if you're... See, even here wouldn't be too bad if you could just get to this position and can flick here. I just need you to have a sightline. If there's not a Widowmaker that's denying your sightline here, mm-hmm. You have to have a sightline, I think. Okay. I think you have to. Because you're just letting them walk through the choke for free and literally almost performing 45 at this point. There you go. Now peek again. Or throw your sleep dart again. Don't wait.
Bad aim.
Yeah, but do you notice now that everyone's like critical? Look at your Torbjorn. Look at your Kiriko, right? The nade's up, and there it is. Ana's a good offense is a good defense, right? Mm-hmm. You don't put out pressure, your team, this is it, right? This is it. You see it? It's falling apart. Oh no. And then that's the first anti-nade you've landed.
Yeah.
So late. Yeah, even the sleep dart on the Bastion was way too late, right? Like, I appreciate that you did that, but it's way too late. So, okay. Again, I want to encourage you to not just be like, oh, I'm an idiot. What am I doing? But I want you to ask yourself, like, why am I holding the anti-nade? Under what circumstances am I holding the anti-nade?
Mm. Okay.
You tell me.
Primarily, well, in that situation or in general?
Just in that situation,
Fear of hitting it, I suppose.
Sure.
Or again, follow up, or maybe I'll need it for myself in some way, shape, or form.
Sure.
I kind of like try to really scale back on when and where to use cooldowns because they're so important that that cooldown so long, as soon as you throw it, then all of a sudden, like I need it 2 seconds later.
Right. Well, here's what I would do. Whenever you find yourself throwing nade and then going, oh shoot, I needed my nade. I want you to ask yourself in the moment, what about that circumstance could I have anticipated needing nade for? Okay. Does that make sense?
It does.
So if you throw your nade and you're like, oh, I shouldn't have used my nade aggressively. I should have saved. Why? What was the circumstance that demanded that you save nade? Was it the tracer? Was it the Winston that had bubble and it was going to go, or the Primal Rage or something? Right? Was it? Oh, my positioning was really bad. I actually I didn't even need to use nade. I just trolled. I shouldn't have. Right? So I want you to be. Don't make hard rules for yourself, because if the rule is to go offensive and you're going, oh, every time I use nade offensively I die. Why? What did you do wrong? You know,
Okay.
That's what I would say. Okay. Okay. Like here was like the nade defensive just because you made a rotation in the open. Now it was a little bit bad timing. Like I don't think it was a bad rotation. You just had to hustle to get to here, right? But that's a situation where it's like, oh, the Ashe caught me off on high ground by surprise. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I like the rotation here. Let's look for a nade.
Oh, I remember this one. I think I banged it off my head. Oh no, I hit it.
That's a big nade. It's a big nade. There's the Suzu. You just forced him to use Suzu. That's a great trade for you. Because here's the thing with nade. It does damage, it forces them back, and it forces a cooldown. It's not just cooldown for cooldown. It's cooldown for cooldown and pressure and backing up, and also you get it back faster. I would just use my sleep dart here, honestly. Oh, I know what's happening. You're looking for nano. Good. Careful with the cover. Use the nade again. Use it again. This kind of goes into my whole mindset of use the nade first, hit the shots next, right?
Okay.
That's where I would just kind of keep an eye on that. But nice nano. Nice initial nade. Love to see it. Good again, use the nade here, maybe secure the kill. Do you see how again you're prioritizing the shots first? But she's just gonna get healing, or she's gonna get some sort of support or whatever. Just use the nade. Open with the nade. Ooh, I want to see this. You know what? Never mind. Save the nade. So I'm totally wrong. Nice. Good to go. Yeah, I really don't think your mechanics are a problem if you're in gold right now. I think you've demonstrated more than enough mechanical competency for plat console level for sure. If not more.
I'll take it. Yeah, not more. I know.
I said if not more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was complimenting you further.
I don't know about that.
It's a small sample size, so obviously, I'm not the most trustworthy thing, but overall it's been pretty good. All right, get it. Alleviate the pressure right now. Isolate that arrest. Yes. It's brilliant. People are going to die now. What's funny is the people that might die, whenever that happens, is nobody died. I'm so unfortunate. But sometimes when this happens, look at what was happening. Suzu, Fortify, Javelin Spin, that's all the armor packs, and they're still recovering, right? And that was all from just one cooldown. Imagine if your Echo had hit a nice sticky, or if your Zenyatta hit a nice right click or something like that,
Yeah.
And the funny thing is oh, they just recovered, now they're pushing back. Yes, but now I have my nade again. It took them 10 seconds to recover from the anti-nade. Yes, free sleep dart, right? Nobody else to use it on. Fight starting, use it. Do it again. See, you waited. You see? You wait just a little too long. You have to use it defensively, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't even imagine how difficult that must be in console.
It's a little tough. Yeah.
So it's the heavy movement that's always hard. All right, let's go. Do it right now. Yes, huge anti-nade. Huge anti-nade. Completely shut down the play. Now hit the sleep dart. Come on, hit the sleep dart. Just fish it. Throw it right down there. Throw it. Good nano. But you see what I'm saying about the sleep dart, right?
Yeah.
You do it sometimes, but whenever you don't have an active threat, you need to use the sleep dart like that. But again, huge anti-nade. That kills the rallying brig right there. That completely saved you guys. Oh dear. Oh. Dang it. At least you lived. That's all that matters. Preserve the stats. All right, come on, let's go. Nice. And even this, like, so some people might be like, this is too early. The fight hasn't started yet. But this allows you guys to walk forward. Like this takes some of the pressure so you guys can rotate forward easy. I mean, heck, you could even nade now before the fight starts, just so that your team can get out of spawn safer. Like you could. There's different ways where that's like, this is not a bad nade, right? Is it too early for follow-up? 100%, right? Even just for alleviating, but it can alleviate pressure for you guys to walk forward.
I think I'm going to pay for this in about 2 seconds.
Oh, you've already used, well, okay, yes and no, because look what actually happens here. So nade, Orisa fortifies, they Suzu, and then that completely opens up to these guys dying in Grav. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
You just made this play happen.
I could have used it right here, though.
Yeah.
I think we lose it for that.
But this is guaranteed value.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? You guaranteed that your people would die in Grav because of what you use. You can't hindsight yourself here. Why did your Echo die? Let's watch what your Echo did. She had copy. She just beefed. Why did your Zen die? Hello? He didn't even Discord. Hello? Why did your Torb die? Let's look at your Torbjorn's ultimate. Huh. Why is it all here? Your Torb took damage from the Orisa wall. He took damage from the Orisa ultimate. I mean, you killed two people. You killed two people. So you can't hindsight yourself here. You can't hindsight. You got value out of what you did. Was there any way, shape, or form that you could anticipate or predict that you were going to need to sleep dart defensively to save your Echo and Zenyatta from a flank Bastion?
I didn't catch the Bastion flanking around.
Sure.
And maybe I hit a shot on my Echo and she then gives her an extra second to copy.
But that's hitting a shot on an Echo, not using your cooldowns inappropriately, right? So I guess all that being said, like, could you have played this one better? Obviously, yes. Like, you could have even killed the Bastion a little bit faster, right? Maybe killed him and saved your cooldowns here, and then naded your Zarya, and then, slept their wrist. Like, of course you could have played this one better, of course. But for what we're looking at right now, the cooldowns, it was good. It was fine. What I'm more concerned about the other fights that you threw by doing other things, right? What were the fights that you lost prior to that? We've got time for like maybe one more team fight. That work for you?
Yeah, whatever you need.
All right, and then we'll take some notes and we'll go from there. Haha, we're off. Let's go. All right, do it. I don't want to see you take a flank and then go back to shoot your Zarya. Okay, let's go.
She was low. I was worried.
I got you. Break that pylon. That's good. Big. Look at all the pressure alleviated. She's totally out right now. Good stuff. Use that sleep dart as well. Might as well. All right, get that nade. Get that nade. If you don't have a sightline, rotate, right? So you started here because you're thinking, oh, we're fighting here. But then we rotated to here, and now your sightline is worthless. So where should you go?
Either around back behind the statue where the Bastion died.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, that's probably where I would like to go.
Yeah, that's probably about all the time that you have, yeah. And there you go. Wait, get there. Good nade, good sleep.
I saw him making the move, so I
got you. But the reason why you're late on these rotations is because you're late on these rotations, right? It's not that the rotation isn't possible. It's because you had an opportunity and you didn't do it quickly enough, and that's it. You need to go quick. Right? Now, that being said, let's enjoy this. Sleep dart on Orisa. Blam. Spin. Bastion's dead. Should have been dead. Didn't die. That's okay. Still low. And you just won your team this fight, in theory. Get her. Hit the sleep dart. Nice.
When that fight first started, I guess here's my question is, I feel sometimes like I have to triage before that fight starts. Like
when you made the rotation and you're like, I had to heal my Zarya, that kind of a thing.
And then I turn my back and Bastion's dead.
Let's go back a little bit.
And that's the things I worry about.
Yeah. So like here, right here is when you're talking about, right?
Up a little bit more. He goes to the statue. So it comes up right here was where I'm worried about. So
All this kind of stuff, though, Jim.
But then we go to push, and I turn my back, and he's dead.
Well, okay, so the reason why all this has felt so scary up to this point is how much offensive pressure have you been putting out with your shots or with your sleep dart?
Nothing.
Right. So the problem is that your initial rotation made a lot of sense. You had a nice nade on Illari. Okay, great. But then they rotated away and you didn't rotate. So basically what's happening is the reason why you guys are under so much pressure is, again, it's exactly the same problem as first point defense, is that you're not doing anything right now. If you rotated to here, you'd be in a better position to see and heal your Bastion, who's on the flank, then also hit the sleep dart and shoot the shots and put pressure and pull attention away from your Bastion, right?
Got it.
And so what ends up happening is, like, you're exactly right. It's like this triage effect of, like, I have to keep everyone from dying. But the problem is that you dug that pit by just being a dead weight right now. You're still a dead weight. Still a dead weight. Still a dead weight. Still a dead weight. Right?
Yeah.
You know? So the other thing to consider as well is when you're taking these sightlines is you'll often end up playing with a person that's going to get shot the most anyway. Remember when you're Widowmaker on the first fight, Suravasa? On the first thing we looked at, she was taking these super aggressive flanks. She got a lot of attention. Why? Because she was on a super aggressive flank. So if you +1 is the way I like to think about it, +1 with that aggressive angle, right? You'll often help the person that needs the most help while also doing damage yourself.
Okay.
So if you think more selfishly about your positioning in terms of sightlines and so on, you'll often end up finding people that really, really need your help along the way because they're also trying to take aggressive sightlines. But yeah, okay. So let's take some notes here. Let's take some notes. Don't second guess your good sightlines range with covered. Too concerned about direct follow-up with nade. Chuck sleep when you don't need to save it. Putting that one in all caps. What else? What do you think? Was that mostly it? Any other points?
Quicker on the angles.
Yep. Quicker rotates when your sightline provides 0 value. Kind of ties into the second point there, but definitely worth pointing out. And then trust your mechanics with nade shots. They're good enough. And if they aren't, they will be. Okay. Any questions?
No, that's I'm seeing it now. I mean,
okay.
I really didn't think of throwing the grenades early to alleviate the pressure and then take my angle.
Sure. I wouldn't even call it early. I would say more like once ask yourself, has the fight started? Are we seriously poking? Okay, nade. Don't remember the big thing is that follow-up doesn't mean kill. Follow-up means is anybody shooting right now? And if the answer is yes, then there's your follow-up.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually, I think when we put this one live here, I don't even think I'm going to put gold Ana coaching because I don't think this is gold Ana. We'll give you a plat. I think you just need to be consistent in applying these things. I would recommend practicing them one at a time, maybe one per game session, right? Hey, today I'm going to be really making sure that finding the proper timing for nades when I can. And if I die, was it a mistake? Was it a bad decision? Try and figure out the answer to that. And then I think from there, practicing, making sure that you're chucking your sleep darts whenever you don't need to save them, looking at your rotations. These are all practicable in isolation. I would not practice them all at the same time. One at a time is crucial.
Okay.
Make sense?
Does. Yes.